everyone, welcome back to Pokemon Rejuvenation. Hope everyone is staying happy, healthy, and safe. Last time we completed the story portions for meeting with Alexandra, regardless of which path you actually took, and we also completed a portion of the story where we got to explore the Hospital of Hope as Lavender. Speaking of that, I actually missed a cutscene when I was handling that portion, so I went ahead and I uploaded it as a unlisted video, and I left it in the description of the previous video. So hopefully that makes up for it. Also, hopefully the timestamps of the last few videos should be updated, hopefully. Today we're going to be finally exploring the desert and the Abyssal Labyrinth. And as such, that exploration is actually going to start here in Sashila Village, because there's something that we have to grab here first. So starting off, we're going to actually head all the way up to the tippy top here. And we're actually going to surf on the water right here. You might have noticed these areas on the left and right side, and that's actually how you get to them. You don't have to have waterfall or anything like that. So right down here is going to be a Zygarde Cell. So we're going to grab that. Also, if we come here at night, there's going to be this NPC right here. What's that? Can't believe an outsider is in our village and at night. I usually like to keep to myself because I already know everyone here. But you're a new face, and that really makes me happy. Here, take this as thanks for talking to me. I found this while hanging by the coast. Please use it for something neat. We definitely will. So that's actually one hard scale that you won't have to grind out. We're also going to enter this building right here and talk to this NPC. We've raided the strange house south of the village for parts and various other things. But we've pretty much taken everything we really want. Do you want the key to the place? Yes, we do. Please, take it. All you gotta do is find the house by following the coast right outside of Sashila. Hopefully you find something you like. And that's actually all we're going to be doing here in Sashila. So instead, I'm going to actually meet you right outside of Sashila, and we're going to start exploring the desert. So here we are at the Zorrialyn Desert, or the Zorrialyn coastline, for now, right outside Sashila Village. Also, speaking of being right outside Sashila Village, I'm going to actually head back in there, because there's a hidden moonstone right here by the entrance. So we're going to grab that really quickly. And now we're going to get on with the desert exploration. I'm going to be working from a Zorrialyn Desert map I made, which is going to be linked below in the description. So let's get started. For starters, we're actually going to be grabbing a few hidden items, not dust balls primarily, but there are a few notable ones out here, but not those. Right up here is going to be another hard scale. These are really nice because you either have to grind for them or just kind of go without. Right over here is going to be the Abyssal Labyrinth. We're not going in there yet, instead we're going to head down here. So if you remember, there was someone that gave us a key to the strange house that's going to be located all the way over here. And we're going to try to enter. Except the key snapped in half. So unfortunately, that's kind of that. And it's actually a good thing. That takes care of that. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to remember that for quite a while now. So instead, back to most of the desert. Up here is going to be our first Zygarde Cell. So that's pretty nice. Also, you may notice some Darmanitan statues out here. Normally these things tend to be woken up with a Rage Candy Bar. We don't have any. And I'm not actually sure how to get Rage Candy Bars in this game. So moving on to the northern part of the desert. There's also going to be some more hidden items over here. Over here is going to be the Sandstream Cave. We're actually not going to be taking care of this for quite a while. We're going to be ignoring that cave for quite a while. Instead, we're going to pick up a HP up right there. A reverse candy right over here. and a thick club right over here. I think the rest of these items, such as the calcium, well, the calcium's actually pretty good, but the shard and the everstone are kind of negligible. But the reason I'm not taking care of the Sandstream Cave right now is because there's something that we can't do there for quite a while until we complete a certain help quest. If we rock climb all the way up here, we can go ahead and grab the TM for Sandstorm, which is kind of neat. I also want to mention the Thick Club that we just picked up. So there's actually Wild Marowak here, and if you don't know, the Thick Club actually doubles Marowak's attack stat if it's holding it. So that's something to consider. So right over here at one of the starting points, we can find a bunch of berries. So the Hobbenberry will reduce the damage taken from a super effective dragon type attack, and the Pitaya Berry will actually boost your special attack in a pinch. And then Akka Berries, of course, will increase or will reduce the damage you take from a super effective fire type attack. Over here is also going to be a Zygarde Cell. If we move over here, there's actually a shiny Cacturne that you can battle and catch if you want. And it seems to respawn as well. There's also a rare bone, which you can sell for a little bit of cash if you want that. Moving over here, there's actually this man. He was apparently taking a stroll through the park, and he got teleported all the way out here. So he's calling out for his wife. I don't think she can hear him. Right over here is going to be another Zygarde Cell. So this Zygarde Cell actually can only be found at night. It's only one of two Zygarde Cells in this entire area that is like that. I'm not sure why it is. And there is going to be one other cell that's just like that after we grab that green shard right there. There's also a Hyper Potion item right down there that I'm not going to ignore. And that cell is this cell right over here. Again, this cell will only appear during the night. These are the only two cells on this entire desert map that are like that. Again, I'm not entirely sure why. I guess they just chose them to only come out at night. But for the record, there's no cells that only come out at day. We're also going to rock climb up here and grab this Zygarde Cell up over here. And if we make our way all the way over here, we can find a smooth rock. It's a hold item that will extend the duration of Sandstorm. And considering we just got the TM for that, that's pretty neat. There's also a hidden reverse candy right down there. Very useless, but go ahead, grab it if you want. There's also a couple of synthetic seeds over here as well. So again, considering there is one path that basically traps you inside the desert, those could be pretty useful. There's a hidden leaf stone right over here, as well as a revival herb right over here too. And if we move on over to the left, there should be a Max Ether up here as an item ball. And if we continue on over here, there should be a Mental Herb on this cactus. So Mental Herb is a really niche usable item that'll free you from Taunt, Encore, or stuff like Infatuation. Over here we're going to grab a Revive, and if we move down here we're going to grab a Kabaya Berry, which is a berry that reduces the damage taken from super effective poison type attacks. There's also a couple gems over here, so they could be of some help if you need them. And that's pretty much it. We've covered the entire desert. Keep in mind, I did gloss over some hidden items. Actually, I glossed over a lot of hidden items. I mainly picked out the items that I felt were going to be the most useful and something that you might not have already. So with all of this said and done, I'm going to go ahead and head back to the outside of Sashila Village, and we're going to head onwards to our next stop, which is going to be the Abyssal Labyrinth. So again, I'm going to be beginning at the Zorrialyn coast, right outside Sashila Village for reference, and we're going to make our way all the way over here. And next to the sign, which tells us the Abyssal Labyrinth is to the right, we're going to go ahead and enter this cave. So inside this cave is going to be this woman, and if we talk to her... Huh? You interested in taking on the Zorrialyn Labyrinth? You're not even from around here. Do you even know what this is? Well, no, I actually don't. That's what I thought. No way an outsider like yourself would know. This place is called the Zorrialyn Labyrinth. As the name clearly states, it's a labyrinth. A confusing cave that seems never ending. But that's not true in the slightest. There is an end. They say the end contains a magnificent treasure. No treasure is greater. But there's a catch. You only get a set amount of steps in the labyrinth. After that expires, the labyrinth will chew you up and spit you right back here. Apparently it has to do with some old Garufin curse or something. I almost forgot. To proceed onto other floors, you have to find the floor objective. After you find the objective, you've got to do what it says, or the door to the next floor won't open. And the door shuts itself with each run, so no preparing for you. Still interested? I'm sure you are. Oh, but of course, this course isn't for free. It'll cost you 5,500 a run. So I'm going to say no thanks right now, just so I can save right outside here. I actually went ahead and I made maps for these two, because otherwise I probably wouldn't be able to do this. So I'll have those linked below in the description as well. So I've saved and I'm pretty ready. I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and she's going to make me go through all the text again. Sure, let me go in. Good luck. So this first floor is a little bit annoying. The reason I say it's annoying is mainly because I couldn't make an entirely efficient path around here, so we have to come back through this first floor multiple times. So I'm going to start by grabbing the PowerPoint Max right here, and then I'm going to run all the way down here. Also be warned, there are some sarcophaguses that will actually attack you. I'm going to grab the relic copper right down there. Smash that rock, and if we come up here, this is one of them. You can actually run from those sarcophagus, so that's not that bad. Up here, I'm going to collect the HP up. And I'm going to make my way all the way up over here, down here, into this corner to grab a relic copper. I'm going to make my way up over here to grab another relic copper. And then I'm actually going to move down here and rig this rock to avoid a sarcophagus. You can actually see their sprites have a little bit of blackness around them. I'm going to make our way all the way over here into this doorway, the first one that we've entered so far, to grab the Magcargo crest. I believe this is actually the first time we've grabbed a crest so far. Magcargo crest is actually one of my favorite crests so far. Or at least it's one that I find the most use with, actually. Anyways, we're going to be heading all the way up here, and we're going to be grabbing another relic copper, and then heading into this doorway. And we're going to grab the Seviper crest. At this point, you shouldn't have too many steps left, so you're probably going to get kicked out. So, I'll see you back at the entrance. Alright, so starting back at the start, again, of course, where else would we start? We're going to be taking a different path and not grabbing any crest right away. Instead, we're going to make our way all the way up here to this rock smash spot and grab a dread plate. And then we're going to make our way all the way up over here, grab a heart scale, and then go ahead and grab a metal plate as well. We can also grab the icicle plate up here, and if we take this long path up over here that has a dead end, we can grab another dread plate. We're also going to backtrack over here just a little bit. And if we make our way over here, we can grab an insect plate. With that, we should have just enough steps to run all the way down over here to this entryway. And in here we can grab the Oricorio crest. We've actually already experienced that crest. Suta had one on his team. And with that, that's all we really want to do for this floor. As you can tell, a strange force is drawing near me and it's going to kick me out of the caves or the tunnels pretty soon. Also, you might recognize that from Black and White, I believe. There was actually some sort of underwater pyramids or mazes that you could go through, and it uses the same mechanic. So that's neat. Anyways, it's time to move on to the next floor, so I'm going to meet you back at the start of this floor. At the start of this floor, we're going to have to make our way to the second floor. You may have already spotted the entrance, but unfortunately we have to complete this floor's objective to move on. So over here, I'm going to be carefully avoiding the Cofagrigus, except for this one. Fortunately, we can't avoid this one, but we can just run away. It's not a big deal. We're going to make our way all the way over here to this spot in the wall. Exhibit your strength to the king. And we're going to use strength right here to open the doorway. And with that, we're going to make our way all the way over here past the entrance. And down over here to the ladder. And we are now officially on the second floor. So with that said, we have a bunch of items to collect. Starting off, we're going to grab this toxic plate that's going to be over here. And then we're going to make our way all the way down over here to this entrance. And inside here, we're going to grab the Stantler crest. I do plan on going over each and every one of the crests later as soon as we finish the labyrinth, but for now, we're just going to be grabbing them. So I'm going to be making my way all the way over here to this rock smash spot and grabbing a fist plate. And then I'm going to be making my way all the way up over here to grab the Fearow crest. And next up, I want to path my way up over here through this rock smash spot. Or actually, no, I don't want to. I want to go this way instead. And up over here, we're going to find the earth plate. Over here is going to be another doorway, and we're going to enter it. And in here, we're going to find the Hypno crest. So that's actually all the crests that we're going to find for this floor. And instead, I'm going to make my way all the way over here. Or actually, just a little bit further. And then over down here to find the flame plate. And then if I make my way up all the way over here and into this dead end, I'll actually find the iron plate. And that's actually all the items that we can find for this floor. So that's pretty good. Even though I made a small mistake, we found everything. Also, I didn't mention this on the previous floor, but this floor, the previous floor, and the floor after this one all have doorways that lead to basically nothing. So if you check the doorway to the left of me, you're not going to find any items. Don't waste your time going in there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get myself kicked out, and I'm going to meet you on this floor once again. So this time we've grabbed everything that we possibly can off of this floor, and we need to make our way to the entrance to the third floor. So the task for this floor to open up the doorway to the stairway for the next floor is actually pretty simple. There's a Cofagrigus right here. If we talk to him and battle him, we have to knock it out, or you can catch it, actually. I had a playthrough where this was actually a shiny Cofagrigus, so I caught it instead. That's annoying. I'll be right back. So after you defeat that Cofagrigus, or catch it, a doorway opened up somewhere. So all we have to do now is head for that doorway. So that's pretty convenient. And it's a pretty straight shot towards that doorway too. And smash those rocks and then head up and over here. There's going to be a bunch of rocks that we have to smash in our way. And then I'm actually going to make my way all the way down here to grab this Carbos. This is the last item on the floor. There is also the note that will tell you how to get to the 3rd floor. It tells you to defeat the sleeping coffin. We've already done that. So let's head on in to the 3rd floor. So on this floor we're going to start off by backtracking over here. And we're going to have to push these rocks out of the way to grab that relic silver. And then we're going to have to backtrack all the way up over here. And inside this room we'll actually find the Leafeon crest. So that's pretty neat. And I also missed an item. So if we make our way all the way up over here, we can go ahead and grab a stone plate. And then if we make our way up over here, smash this rock, we can grab another relic silver. And then if we make our way all the way up north over here, we can grab a sky plate. And that's all we can really do for this path. We should get kicked out pretty soon. Also, there is going to be a doorway over here that's completely useless. I don't think I've ever actually shown the inside of these doorways, but again, you won't find anything here. It's basically a scam. It's a trick. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get kicked out, and I will talk to you when I get back to the 3rd floor again. So once again, I'm back here on the 3rd floor, and this time we're going to be taking a different route. So once we reach this point, we're going to split off and head over to the right this time. Immediately right over here, we're going to find another sky plate. And over here, we should actually find another stone plate. Inside this doorway right here, we'll actually find the Glaceon crest though. And finally, if we make our way all the way over here, we can smash one of these rocks to find some more relic copper. We can head north here to find a spooky plate. And right over here we can find another relic copper. And that's it for the Abyssal Labyrinth. We actually can't progress anymore. And if you're curious about progression, then what I mean by this is there is one more doorway. However, even if we open this doorway, it leads to a dive spot to actually enter the next floor. So we're pretty much done here. We've gotten all the crests that we possibly can from here. So I'm going to speak to you on the outside. Alright, so I'm outside the labyrinth now. We're going to talk about the crest really quickly. So the Magcargo crest is by far my favorite. I think it would be most people's favorite too. It turns Magcargo into a sweeper. It swaps Magcargo's defense and speed. So for reference, Magcargo's defense is 120, its speed is 30. Also gives it 10 special attack points, so that gives it 100 special attack. That's actually really good. The Seviper crest causes Seviper to hit harder against healthier foes, and it gives it 50% increased speed. Oricorio crest, we've already gone over this, but it gives Oricorio extra speed and extra special attack. The Stantler crest gives Stantler's attack and accuracy a 50% boost, so that's not too bad. The Fearow crest actually increases Fearow's critical hit ratio by 3 stages, so it's gonna crit always pretty much, if the foes have less than 75% HP, which you could probably set up with stealth rocks or spikes or other entry hazards. Hypno's special attack and accuracy will increase with the Hypno crest, so that's pretty decent. This is probably one of the crests that I feel a little bit let down by. I'm guessing this is just to let Hypno spam hypnosis and blast everything. I'm not really sure. Leafeon's crest allows it to actually take resisted damage from fire and flying attacks, and I'm not a fan of that, if I'm completely honest. Leafeon is very speedy, it has good physical attack, it really isn't meant to be taking too many hits, in my opinion. Glaceon's crest actually allows it to take resisted damage from rock and fighting attacks, which is pretty good actually. The ice type has very few resistances, so that's pretty good for Glaceon, especially since it's on the slow side. And that's going to be it for the Crest. Anyways, most of this didn't take a whole lot of time, surprisingly, so I think it's time to start back up with the story again. So for this, we're going to be heading back to the northern portion of the desert and heading into Alamissa Urben. So I'll meet you right there. As a reference point, I'm going to be starting here at the northern desert, right above where Sashila village would be. So we're going to be heading all the way over to the right, and towards the center you'll find a one-time healing star and a sign that says Alamissa Urben. We're going to go ahead and head on up here and meet with Rin. Alamissa Urben, the city of happiness. Such an ironic title, and it's just a tad bit cruel. Do you know about Alamissa Urben's story? Then you'll learn. By just walking through this place, you'll learn. There's something I wanted to talk to you about, Icy. I wanted to explain why I joined Team Zen in the first place. After everything that's happened, you at least deserve some sort of explanation. This hell that became my life started right after you defeated Narcissa. Regardless, how about you and I take a little walk and chat? The only thing I want from you is answers. And you will get them. Come. What the? Where am I? This way, Rin. Don't keep me waiting. Crescent. What the hell? This place is seriously so creepy. What is this, Crescent? I'm going to ignore that remark. This is my place of residence. My base of operations, if you will. You better have plans to tell me everything that's been going on. And why do you have a framed picture of Icy and whoever the rest of those people are? I'm going to be the one talking here, so just listen. And again, I'm going to ignore that last part before I become extremely irritated. Now about why I brought you here. You said you wanted answers, correct? What if I could provide an answer to that one big problem that's just haunting you? An answer to a question that's been haunting me? What if I said there was a way to bring Melia back from the dead? What? Bring Melia back from the dead? Don't you dare screw with me. That's not possible. Once someone is dead, they're just gone, and you and Melia had a really good relationship prior to all of this, right? It's a shame that all ended just because Team Zen decided they wanted what was hidden inside her. And all of that effort for what? They got her killed for no reason. But you, Rin, could give her a second chance. A second chance at a life she never had. Imagine how grateful she would be to you. Imagine all the people who would look up to you. Imagine everything that could happen with her when she's back. Imagine how much that would make her love you. What would I have to do? I thought you might turn around. What you have to do is the simple part. I need you to join Team Zen. You're out of your mind, Crescent. If you think I'm just going to join the enemy... Silence. You won't be under their rule, you'll be under mine. I want you to act as my mole. I need you to get information on something for me. In exchange for getting the information I need, I will revive Melia for you. And while doing that, you'd be helping me take down Team Zen from the inside out. Isn't that beneficial for both of us? You get Melia back, and I get Team Zen's destruction. I don't know. You're right when you say it's beneficial for both of us, but you make it sound way easier than it actually is. Of course it won't be easy. The rewards would be worth it, no? And of course, I'd be here to protect you. I believe you have the most potential out of your group to do this. So what do you say, Rin? A deal? So I joined Team Zen. But as you quickly found out, Crescent had manipulated me from the beginning. Melia had never died that day, and Crescent knew that. When Nastasia and I escaped to GDC, I cut ties with Crescent for good. But in the end, I was the only loser. Crescent got the information she needed, and I got tangled into an inescapable situation. As for what that situation was, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. And although, in the moment, I was angry with you after Golden Leaf, I didn't join Team Zen because I wanted to betray anyone. I didn't want anyone to get hurt or die. I just wanted my best friend back. But it's not even about her anymore. It's about something that's bigger than Team Zen itself. Something I'm determined to see to the end. There's one last thing I wanted to do before we continued. Right before I was commissioned to be Anastasia's assistant, I came across something peculiar. There was a single Pokeball amongst a bunch of other heaps of trash. It was scheduled for incineration a few hours after I found it. I managed to scavenge it. It was damaged. Nastasia helped me repair it. She told me it belonged to someone very close to you. I believe her name was Nancy. That was the name of your mother, right? Nastasia told me to hold on to this and give it back to you whenever we met again. So, I believe this belongs to you. Please, accept that as my apology. To you, and to Nancy. Rena, what are you doing here? I just knew you had good intentions. I just knew it. Were you listening that entire time? Sorry, Rena wanted to follow you two here. Even though I told her that we should have gone home. Once that girl gets an idea in her head, it's really hard to stop her. Yeah, that sounds like my sister, alright. But you really should go back home, Rena. And don't return to the city either. Things are only going to get worse. I'm not going back to the city, and I'm not going back to Golden Leaf either. If you two are going to risk your lives dealing with this rift, then I want to come too. Absolutely not. This isn't like one of those shows you like to watch on TV. I can't protect you if you get yourself in a bad spot. We have Pokémon though. Not many, but enough to be useful. Huey, didn't you want to go home? I did, but being out of the city made me realize how much I relied on my own sister to accomplish things. If I'm out here with the big boys, that means I'll get stronger. And then using my newfound strength, I'll find my sister. And even though I wasn't a trainer before you left, I traveled around the entire region by myself. I bet I could take you on in a battle and win easy. So that's how it is then. Fine. You two can come with. But if things are getting too rough, you will leave. Understood. Affirmative. Alright, then let's get moving. Alamissa Urben is a dangerous place to traverse. Tread carefully and watch where you step. So that was really heartwarming. And we also got our Sylveon, or rather our mother Sylveon, which is a really nice Pokemon to actually have. It's going to eventually be a really difficult boss battle, where it's going to be useful to actually change the field, and that Sylveon does learn Misty Terrain, so that's one of the Pokemon that you can use if you have nothing else to use. But with that said and done, we're actually going to go ahead and finally head on into Alamissa Urben. It's very much a ruined city, and you'll notice that there are Blade Star tanks out here. There's nowhere we can really go except inside here. And occasionally, as we go to move into different sections of the city, we will have small flashbacks of the past where we actually see the past people of here. There's also going to be Blade Star grunts. Oh, what are you guys doing here? Once we take care of that grunt, we can make our way out over here. And over down here, we'll find the Red Flute. So that's pretty neat. The Red Flute will actually snap a Pokemon out of Infatuation when used in battles, so that's interesting. It's really niche. We'll have another cutscene of the people back in time, in the past. We can also come down here to grab that hidden red shard. There's a lot of hidden shards in this area, so you might want to grab them if you can. Also, there's going to be a bunch of rock smashable rocks. And for once, if you actually rock smash them, well, they'll stay gone permanently. You can leave and re-enter this area and that rock will still be gone. So anyways, up next we're going to pass that tank. And there's nowhere else we can go but down, unfortunately. You can avoid this Blade Star grunt if you want, or you can battle them. I'm actually going to choose to battle them. This is supposed to be our place of solitude. Once we defeat that grunt, we can move on out of here, and we'll be greeted with another small glimpse at the past of Alamissa Urben. Out here in the open, we're actually greeted with multiple paths. We could go past that grunt right over there, or we could go up the stairs, up over here, and explore further. Also, don't forget to smash that rock. There's nothing too significant over here. This entire area over here actually just loops around, so you'll find yourself right back over here if you try that path. Instead, we need to actually go over here There's a grunt moving around there that you can actually avoid if you want to. And instead, we're going to make our way all the way over here. Right over here, we can again smash this rock, which clears out a shortcut for us to get back here later on if we need to. You could also go down this way, but there's really nothing here. There's a hidden shard, and that's pretty much it. So instead, we're going to make our way over here. Be granted with another vision. And if we make our way all the way over here, we'll find a power bracer. It's actually the EV training item for attack, which could be really helpful for training up for some oncoming battles. There's also going to be a Blade Star grunt over here, and apparently she's singing. After taking care of that grunt, we can come over here and grab this Poketoy, and we can move on up over here and join the rest of the gang. So, like, is anyone else seeing those visions? Come on, I can't be the only one, right? No, you're not the only one. I've been here before. It's happened then too. They're always sort of haunting. What we saw, was that how this place used to be? Yeah. And I don't know exactly what happened here, but the result is clear by just being here. Anyway, we're just at the end of this place. Ryland is probably ahead. It might not go well, so be prepared to fight. Understood. Let's go. So that was pleasant. I'm just going to grab this item really quickly. If we make our way all the way down here, we can again clear ourselves out in another shortcut, if we want. And if we make our way all the way over here, most of the items are hidden items that are pretty trashy, but there is a Prism Scale up over here. So again, that's something. With all of this taken care of, let's move on into this room now and join the rest of them. I didn't expect the ones to disturb this area to be you all. We're not here to disturb you, we're just passing by. So you saw those visions, right? The ones I've layered around Alamissa. You're the reason we saw those visions? Using the gems known as Time Splicer Stones, I've discovered a way to bring the past to the present temporarily. It's my way of telling Alamissa Urben's story. It's important that I keep its story alive. After all, no one outside the Badlands even knows this place exists. Why is this place so important to you? Why do you choose to reside here instead of Sashila Village? I'm not going to mince words. It's because I refuse to let go of my homeland. This place was a beacon of hope for the people of the Badlands. When the calamity begun, it started in this very area. Which means you guys were hit the hardest, right? That's right. And despite that, no one came to our aid. We had to build our civilization from the ground up. But even with all of us, creating a civilization where so much destruction took place was hard. Our incredible determination was not enough to fulfill our wishes. That's when a man named William Grevilia and his assistant, Earl Jinkle, found our city. With his vast amount of research and technology, he began to restore the nearby areas. Oasis started to spring up. Pokémon came back. Just when things started to finally turn around, Team Zen attacked us with the intent to kill each and every one of us. and the one in charge of that invasion was none other than Cassandra. Did you say Cassandra? Recognize that name, Rin? During that battle, something incredible happened. Suddenly, the ground beneath Alamissa opened up, and Cassandra called for an immediate retreat. She thought that the crevice would finish the rest of us off. She got too arrogant. My brother Adam and I both survived the attack, along with Alexandra and her brother Damien. We searched for any survivors and brought them away to a new location. If you've explored the desert, you may have come across the ruined city. That was our second home, and at the time, I was so certain we would die there. But yet again, we were saved by a stranger. This time, a girl named Flora appeared. She had come to finish what her father started. She restored the land west of the ruined city. That's when Sashila Village was born. Why are you telling us this? Because I am explaining to Rin why I joined Bladestar. What's the point of explaining? I know we all have our reasons. I wanted to make a point that we all fight for something, no matter what side we're on. I'm sure, along with everyone else in this room, you have a story. I do. I've come a long way to reach this point. As have I. And forgive me, but I believe it is impossible to see eye to eye. I will never forgive Team Zin for what they have done to me and my people. And I will not forgive those who choose to sit around and do nothing. Therefore, and forgive me once more, I have to do this. They have us surrounded? I know what you're here for, and I cannot allow you to enter Zone 0. I knew things would get bad. I see. Let's take them on. Rena, Huey, you take those two. Yeah, I got it. Leave it to us. Take them out. Ryland, sir. These trainers are far too strong. As elite class, Bladestar grunts are no match for them. I must say that I'm impressed by your strength. I see. You were one of the people who were involved in Flora's capture, were you not? While impressive, I find your strength unfortunate. Ryland. Pardon me, but I am speaking. It's because of outsiders like you that caused the people of the Badlands to go through such hardship. If the world didn't turn a blind eye to us, we wouldn't be in this position. That's why I put my faith and trust into Flora. She helped us when no one else would even listen to our pleas. But is that what you truly believe? What? After everything you hope to achieve, do you really think Flora is the one to do it? You say you put your total faith and trust into Flora. But you're a member of Bladestar, a high-ranking member. You know everything she's done and everything she's going to do. You don't know what you're talking about. I understand, Ryland. I get it. I grew up in a place that was bogged down by past hardships. I always wanted to be the one to change that. I wanted to be the hero that brought the world to Golden Leaf. Just like how you wanted to be the hero of the Badlands. In that way, we are alike. Alike? I beg your pardon. You dishonored yourself by joining an organization like Team Zen. And you joined Bladestar, a radical group that will stop at nothing for the world to accept their ideals. But you don't have to be a part of that. You can still leave. Try and shape the world how you see it, not how Flora does. You and I both know that she's not the one to change this place. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by a cruel decision like I have. I must admit, you read me like a book. Seeing through my facade is something not many people can do. I'm impressed. Just let us through, Ryland. Please. Personally, I still do not think we can see completely eye to eye. And you have a lot to work on as a person, but as do I. But as much good Flora has done for this place, you're correct, she is not the answer. I blindly followed her ideals. I made myself believe that I was doing the right thing, because following her meant the restoration of the Badlands. But at what cost? The destruction of everywhere else? It would be no better than the ones who let us rot here. Flora is just as bad as Madame X. Ruthless, manipulative. If you want to do things right, you have to do it yourself. Alright, Rin, I see, and others. I'll let you all through. Thank you, Ryland. What? Are you betraying us? Tell Flora that I greatly appreciate her for what she's done. But I'll be taking over the restoration of the Badlands from here on out. Flora is not going to be happy about this. She'll be sorry. Everyone, there's something I must speak to you about. As a member of high status, I've been briefed in on future missions and events Bladestar have laid out. A lot of them have been crazy, but there's one in particular I must warn you. What's this? You made up already? It's not fun at all. I don't suppose I'm interrupting something. Like a cool summer breeze, I'll make my way into this conversation. Did you really follow me all the way here? Ah, kitty cat. I'm not here for you. Put away those claws now. You know, I really thought this was going to go another way. It always does. But only losers like you all stick to the same script. A real man knows when to adapt to everything, like a cup of red dye in sparkling clear water. What is he even talking about? I don't know, but his silky smooth voice is totes to die for. I appreciate the compliment, little lassie. It's a shame I've got to drop in just like this. How about we all go for a ride? A mission for 5? Pardon me. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We won't be going anywhere with you. If you continue, I'm afraid I'm going to have to resort to violence. Is that clear? I'm afraid you misunderstand. I said a mission for 5. Sorry, but you are so not invited. As for everyone else, buckle up. Anyways, I think that's going to be it for this part. We explored the desert, we explored the Abyssal Labyrinth, and we grabbed every single item that we could get our greedy hands on. Then we continued on with the story, and we are going to continue onward with the story even more in the next part. So thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, hope it helps, and I will catch you all on the next part. Peace.